Vreni here. A couple of weeks back you told me, or many of you told me, that balance was a big issue for you. And so I thought I would share some quick ideas that might help you. If balance is a very complicated issue, there's many causes for balance problems. But one thing is undeniable, and that is that the more range of motion you have in your legs, the more base of support is possible for you. So the larger your base of support, the easier it is to balance. Sometimes when we're just too tight, our calf muscles are too tight, or we can't move our legs very far apart, then you have less balance. So you also, by having more slack in your system, you can also catch yourself better if you're falling. So for that reason, having good range of motion in your legs is very important and can be very helpful. So I thought I'd show you just a few stretches to get you started. And many of these can be done on your bed. I'm sitting on my deck, but you can do them on your bed, so it can be easier on your knees or more comfortable for you, and you don't have to get down on the floor to do them. So with no further ado, here's the first stretch. So this first stretch, you can get yourself onto all fours. So you're on your knees, and like I said, you can do this on your bed and curl your toes under if you can. So place your toes so the toe pads are down, and then what you're going to do is just reach back. You reach your butt back like you're going to try to rest it on your heels, and you may feel a stretch in your buttock, or maybe in your thighs, or maybe in your calves, or maybe in the bottoms of your feet. Just go back until you feel a little bit of a stretch, and then rest, relax. If you want, you can even come down and just rest with your elbows on the floor and just relax in that position and wait for the stretch to dissipate. So you go to first awareness of a slight pull, and that's all, and then you just hang out. And then once it dissipates, then you can push yourself back even further. So this is nice because it stretches all kinds of muscles all at once and can be good at getting what you need right away. So simple stretch. So now I'm going to show you a modification of it, which is more for your inner thighs. And for that, you want to spread your knees apart and then turn, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, I'm turning my toes out. Oh, I might have to adjust the camera so that you can actually see that. There. Okay, so you see my toes are turned out and my knees are wide. And now you do the same thing. And now probably, if your knees are spread wide enough, you'll probably feel a stretch in your inner thigh. And once again, you stick your butt in the air and you reach back until you get the first awareness of a stretch, and then you wait. If you want, you can kind of rock gently side to side, very lightly, going from 0.5 of a stretch to 0, but do not have your stretch much more than a 2 out of 10. Should be very gentle, because whenever you're stretching, you're not only stretching muscles, but you're also stretching blood vessels and nerves and all kinds of other things that don't necessarily want to be stretched. So be good to your body, just listen, should feel nice, and then when it dissipates, then you can go back even further. And you can also take this stretch and go the other way. For this, I'll just back up a little bit. Once again, toes are out, and then you lean forward, dropping your pelvis forward. And that gets a whole other set of muscles. And then you can go between the two positions, reaching back as far as is comfortable and coming forward. Once again, this one is great to do on a bed because it can be a little bit hard on the knees. This next stretch is for the front of your thighs, right here. And once again, you can do it in bed if you like. Just lie on your side and then bring both your knees in front of your body and lengthen your trunk. You can lie right down on your elbow if you like, and then hang on to your lower leg, the top leg here, maybe near the ankle or wherever you can reach. If you've got pants on, you can grab your pant leg or your sock, and then bring your heel as close to your buttock as you can, and then slowly bring the whole leg back until you feel a stretch in your thigh right here. You probably will not get it back very far if you're tight like me. My knee is quite far in front of my thigh, in front of my body, but that's okay. And I just wait here until the stretch dissipates, and then I can bring, using my hand, pull the ankle or pant leg or sock back even further to gain a little bit more stretch. Once again, just an easy stretch, don't make it painful, should feel nice, and that's a nice thigh stretch. You can repeat 2 or 3 times as it loosens, and then do the same thing on the other side. If you notice that one thigh is much tighter than the other, do more repetitions on the tight side or spend more time on the tight side and stretch it more often. Your goal is to have balance between the 2 legs, and that's your thigh stretch. Now I'm going to show you a back of the thigh stretch for your hamstrings. This one also you can do in bed if you like. I have very tight hamstrings, so I'm perfect for demonstrating this. What you want to do is sit evenly through your sit bones, and then sit nice and tall. So you're keeping an arch in your low back, and then you lean forward to the point where you can maintain an arch. Now for me, I have to have my knees very bent. Now you can see as soon as I straighten my legs, my back rounds. So that's not stretching the back of my thighs anymore, it's more stretching my low back. So I have to bend my knees this much to be able to keep my back straight, and then I can hang on to just under my knees or lower leg and just use that as leverage to pull myself forward a little bit to feel the stretch in the back of the thigh. I feel it right near the top where the thigh meets the buttock, and then once again I make that a 1 out of 10 and wait for it to dissipate. I can also rotate my legs in and out, so I'm mobilizing from a 0 to a 1 and wait for it to dissipate, and then I can lean forward a little more and wait for it to dissipate and keep going like that. That's your hamstring stretch, back of the thigh. I want to show you another hamstring stretch. If the other one didn't work for you, this is another option. You can sit on a bench or perhaps on the edge of your bed if you don't have a footboard, and let your heel be off the end and your other foot is on the floor. You have your leg slightly bent, you're sitting tall through your sit bones, your back has an arch in it, and then you very gently lean forward just until you feel a stretch in the back of your thigh, right in here. I feel mine quite high up. And then you can rotate your leg side to side, roll it in and out, in and out. So you're stretching to first awareness. I find for me, when I roll it out, it takes away the stretch, and then when I roll it in, it comes back. So I'm moving slightly in and out of the stretch and mobilizing the tissue, making all the muscles, the muscles in the back of the thigh slide and glide with respect to each other, which helps break up any adhesions between them, maybe freeing up the nerve and also lengthening the tissue. So you can wait until it dissipates and then lean forward a little more and repeat. And then once you've done it a few times, or you're tired of it, you can switch sides. And then put the other leg up, the other foot on the floor. You'd have to move over to the other side of the bed if you're doing it on your bed. And then same exact thing, sit tall. Do not let yourself slump behind your sit bones because that's going to take the stretch away. Be tall, lean forward, and gently rotate the leg a little bit to mobilize all the tissue. And there's another option for a nice back of the leg stretch.